Good morning, dear students. Now, in the yesterday's video, the last topic was state function, a property of a system which does not depend upon the path, how the reaction has taken place and how the product has achieved, but it just depends on the initial and the final state or the factors of the system. Then they are the state function. In that relation, here is an example. When reaction started, the reactant was 10 gram, and when the reaction finished, it was 8 gram, the product. So what is the change in the mass here? Initial 10 minus 8, so 2 gram is the change. This value is the state function. How the change has taken place, what means, it is not the matter for the state function, but the initial what was the thing and finally what is achieved. What is the difference between this initial and final? That value is the state function. In a literal general meaning, we can consider it. One more example, if carbon dioxide is to be prepared, then state of function has no matter how carbon and oxygen burns together to get carbon dioxide, either by wood, either by kerosene, either by paper or any other source. But the thing is that path is not to be considered, only the initial when reaction starts, how the carbon and oxygen will start burning and the product how or what amount carbon dioxide is produced. So such properties which is in the relation of only initial and final factors is termed as state functions. Here initially reactants are taken and with the heat change product is obtained. So this heat change is enthalpy and enthalpy is a state function. Once again, the properties which depend only on the initial and final state, independent of the path they have undergone in the process, are properties of state of function. And those properties are enthalpy, change in heat, entropy, the random motion of the heat of the particles due to the change in heat. It is entropy, internal energy of the system, Gibbs free energy. Right? So these are all the properties which are termed as the properties of state of function. Now one more terminology of the chapter is thermodynamic equilibrium. Thermodynamic, right? Dynamic, that means which keeps on gradual changing. Thermo in the relation of the heat. So when the process is taking place and the heat is gradually changing, and when this heat attains the equilibrium, that means the rate of the reaction the rate of the reactant and the rate of the product in the reaction remains the same at constant temperature and pressure is the thermodynamic equilibrium. When the macroscopic properties of the system, now in the previous videos you have understood what is macroscopic properties. Properties which is in the terms of bulk, and they are of two types, extensive and intensive. Extensive which depends on the mass, intensive which is not depending on the mass, right? So such macroscopic properties of the system do not change with the time, then they are known as thermodynamic equilibrium. In any process, the starting of reaction is the initial state, and then the interaction of the system with the surrounding is the final state. So any process when it starts, as soon as it starts, it will not start getting reacted with the system and surrounding. So the starting point of the process is termed as initial state. But gradually when the interaction of the system along with the surrounding takes place, then that is the final state which is to be considered in the thermodynamic equilibrium. And when in the process, the rate of the forward reaction, that means the reaction from reactant to product, and the rate of the backward reaction, that is from product to reaction, is the same, it is termed as equilibrium. Rate that means speed. Speed of the reaction from reactant to product and to get again reactant back from the product. If both this reaction of forward and backward is same, then it is equilibrium, right? And again we have one chapter based on equilibrium. Thus, during any process, when equilibrium is attained, the total pressure and the total temperature of the system remains the constant, and it is called thermal equilibrium. Equilibrium which is because of the heat, so it is thermal equilibrium. And when this thermal equilibrium is existed, and it is in the relation of the different processes. So here now, when any chemical reaction takes place, it is chemical process. Whatever the reaction takes place, that reactant will react and product is attained. Then such reactions are termed as processes. Any reaction, suppose manufacturing of Na2CO3 if we consider, manufacturing of soaps if we consider, or even manufacturing or making of the tea, preparing of the coffee, then they are also method to do or to work out with some reactant to get the product. Then they are also processes, right? So, a literal meaning of process is how are we going to have an entire change in a system is a process. As I told, making of tea is also a process. Why? Because there the entire system is going to change after doing some reaction. You mix the water, milk, tea leaves, sugar. So all different reactants are reacting, and the complete change of the system is in the form of liquid tea, right? So process in which entire change of a system takes place, it is a process. Or in other words, the path or operation by which the reaction is carried forward or carried on is known as process. Now we will see here different types of processes. So let us see, the first process is isothermal process. When reaction is taking place and the temperature of the system is constant, the word itself gives us the idea isothermal. Iso, that means which remains same, right? Constant. And thermal, that means the temperature. So when reaction is taking place and the temperature of system is constant, then it is termed as isothermal process. Here heat enters from out, but temperature will not be changed. Then the difference in the temperature dT will be 0. Isothermal process is very slow process. All insulated wares or the insulated systems are undergoing isothermal process, and so the thermos flask is also termed as one of the part of the isothermal process, right? The next is adiabatic process. When reaction is taking place and the heat of system is constant, adiabatic, that means heat is constant. It is also termed as isoentropic. Isoentropic, that means unchanged heat. So here when heat is constant, there means no change of heat from system to surrounding or from surrounding to system, then it is termed as adiabatic process, right? Here heat remains constant, so difference in heat is equal to 0. The next process is isobaric. Bar, that means it is related to pressure, right? So here it is isobaric, where pressure remains constant. When reaction is taking place and no change in pressure takes place, it is isobaric pressure. Here heat enters from out, but pressure will be unchanged. There won't be change into the pressure. So it is termed as isobaric and no change in pressure. So difference in the pressure remains the 0. Isochoric. Choric it means for the volume. So when the reaction is taking place and no change in volume takes place, it is isochoric process. Here heat enters from out, but volume will be unchanged. Here you can give an example of cooker. In a pressure cooker, what happens? Once the volume is filled it up, a liquid is filled in the cooker and a lid is closed on it, and if heat is applied, but internal volume remains unchanged. There is no change in the internal volume, and then the difference in the volume remains the 0. So it is isochoric process. The next is cyclic process. Cyclic. The word gives us the idea that from one thing to other and other to again original thing. When reaction is taking place and it proceeds toward the product through the intermediate is known as cyclic process because intermediate product can be reactant once again. Here is just an idea given that reactant A when start proceeding towards the product B, the intermediate is formed which is C. This intermediate again go to the reactant and it will start reaction again towards product B, where it again forms as an intermediate product, or we can say a byproduct, which keeps on giving the thrust to the reactants to get the final product. Then it is termed as the cyclic product. In our day-to-day life, the digestion process which we understand, it is because of the digestive enzyme, and this digestive enzyme when reacts with the food particles, then they form the intermediate particles, which particles will mixes with the food, and the final digestive food is absorbed into the intestine and the other body organs. So it is termed as cyclic process. In other words, a system that undergoes a series of changes so that initial state can be recovered. If after going series of changes, the initial state is recovered again and again, and it is termed as cyclic process. The next is a reversible process. A reaction in which reactant to product and product to reactant is possible. By changing the state values, it is reversible process. It is represented by two half arrows. Right? Here if I say A is the reactant, on heating it converts to product B. This product B on cooling again converts to reactant A. Then this type of reaction A to B and B to A is termed as reversible process. The next is irreversible process, a reaction in which even after series of changes from product to reactant is not possible, then it is irreverse, or we can say reverse is not possible, then it is irreversible process. Once reaction starts, reactant converts completely to the product, and now from product to reactant is not possible. It is irreversible reaction. Reactant to product is possible. From product to reactant is not possible. It is irreversible processes. So, why these all processes we have undergone? I have not taught deeply about it because as per the new syllabus of the Gujarat government for especially this pandemic year 2020-21, many topics are cancelled. But in what means they are cancelled? That means in the proportion of the exam. Exam point of view, you are not there to cram or memorize them, but for your learning concepts, understanding concepts, you must know them because all these topics are interrelated to each other. So if we skip them, the previous topics we won't be able to understand. And if we skip it from the 11th standard, then 12th standard, again this chapter thermodynamics is there. On relation of the thermodynamics, equilibrium is there. Even thermodynamics there is in physics also. So for this purpose, I have not taught in a very deep manner these all processes, but just I have given a glance idea that what are the different processes. Now the next here state function is internal energy and internal energy change. So what is internal energy? First of all, internal energy is represented by capital U, and it is the energy of the system on its own. That means the system, when it is having its own energy within it, is termed as internal energy. It is the sum total of all the energies of the system. When any system is prevailing or the reaction is taking place in a system, then all this energy which are there working or functioning for the system, the sum total of all is termed as internal energy. All energy means there may be energy due to potential energy, due to motion, kinetic energy. There may be energy of electrons, rotational, translational, vibrational energy, oscillatory energy, because in a system when heat is given, electron will experience heat, so their oscillations will also start. So different types of this energy, when sum up together, it gives the internal energy. And what is difference in internal energy, or what is an internal energy change? So if for a reaction A is the reactant and B is the product, then internal energy is UA and UB. So what will be the difference? Final minus initial. UB minus UA. Final state and initial state. Or if it expressed in terms of reactant and product, then initial energy of the reactant, initial energy of the product, and difference product minus initial is delta U. This is the change in energy, right? So please go through all the topics and I will send you later on the revised syllabus. So according to that you start preparation, right?